Every day, over 100 million barrels of oil are consumed around the world. It powers transport, industries, and global trade. But when oil prices rise sharply, the impact doesn't stay in energy markets. It spreads across economies, raising costs, slowing growth, and also triggering the inflation. In recent months, oil prices have surged past $100 per barrel, driven by geopolitical tensions, supply disruptions, and rising global demand. This is not just an energy story, it is a global economic event at the moment. So, why does oil matter? Oil is one of the most critical inputs in the global economy. Nearly 90% of transportation depends on petroleum fuels, from car to airplane to trucks. Oil keeps goods moving across the countries, across the continents. In agriculture, oil power machinery and is used to produce fertilizers. In manufacturing, it is a key raw material for plastics, for chemicals, and for other synthetic products. This means oil is present at nearly every stage of production and distribution. So when oil prices increases, the cost of producing and transporting goods increases across the board. Oil prices are shaped by supply, demand, and expectations. On the supply side, disruptions play a major role. Conflicts in oil-producing regions, sanctions, or transport risks can reduce global supply quickly. For example, key routes like the Strait of Hormuz handle nearly 20% of the world's oil supply. Any disruption there can send prices soaring. On the demand side, economic growth increases energy consumption. Rapid industrialization in countries like China and India has significantly increased global oil demand over the past decades. Then there is market speculation. Oil is traded globally and prices often react not just to current supply but to future expectations. Even the fear of shortage can push prices higher and higher and higher. When oil price rises, economies experience cost-push inflation. This happens when rising production costs force businesses to increase prices, fuel cost increases transportation expenses, energy cost increases manufacturing expenses. According to economic estimate, a 10% increase in oil price can raise global inflation by around 0.3 to 0.5%. These increases are passed through supply chain, from producers to wholesalers to retailers, and finally to we consumers. This result is a broad rise in price across goods and services. How does this affect our daily life? So for household, this affects immediately because fuel becomes more expensive, increasing commuting costs. Food prices rise due to the higher farming and transport expenses. Electricity and heating costs also increase. In many countries, energy and food together make up a large portion of household spending. When these essentials become more and more expensive, the cost of living rises significantly. If wages do not increase at the same pace, purchasing power declines. This means people can afford less with the same income, a key characteristic of inflation. What is the response of central bank? To control inflation, central banks raise interest rates. Higher interest rates makes borrowing more expensive. This reduces spending and investment, helping to slow down price increase. However, this approach has consequences. Higher rates can reduce business expenses, slow job creation, and weaken economic growth. It becomes a trade-off, controlling inflation while maintaining economic stability. Effects on global economy. The impact of rising oil prices varies across countries. Oil importing countries face higher costs, worsening trade balance and putting pressure on currencies. Oil exporting countries may benefit from higher revenue, but global economic slowdown can reduce overall demand. Financial markets often react with volatility as investors adjust expectations from inflation and growth. Prolonged oil price increases can reduce global GDP growth while increasing inflation, a challenging combination for policymakers. Stagflation risk. One of the biggest risks is stagflation, where inflation remains high while economic growth slows. This situation limits policy options. Raising interest rates may control inflation but worsen the growth. Lowering rates may support growth but increases the inflation. This creates a different and difficult environment for governments and central banks. Oil remains a central force in the global economy. Its price influences production, transportation, inflation, and also economic growth. A surge in oil prices is not just a market movement, it is a signal of broader economic change. As global demand continues to grow and geopolitical risks remain, the connection between oil prices and inflation will continue to shape the world economy. And in a deep interconnected world, even a single price shift can ripple across billions of lives. Follow for more such documentaries.